What will happen in New York City if this guy does win?
So going through each of those, so government is in no position to ever dictate these types of things, and every time it does and puts its heavy hand on the economy, it always makes it so much worse. Do it again. But if you create government subsidized stores, you will destroy regular stores while jacking up prices of this stuff anyway. The amount of taxes you're going to have to increase to do this, he's published, his budget is going to triple what it presently is. I believe it's tripled. So, but then as people start to leave, you're looking at taxing the people that stay even more, because the taxes go up and they have to raise them more and more and more because the budget keeps falling short. As far as real estate, people are going to just stop developing. They're going to start warehousing apartments. At some point, the government is going to be stuck owning some of these tenements, which of course is going to be more tax obligations, and the city is going to become Detroit. We know what happens. Detroit fell apart in a generation. Do we want New York to be another Detroit? What happens if the stock exchange leaves? What happens if all the big law firms leave? Because people will want to leave.
You think New York City will fall if this guy is elected mayor?
Oh, there's no question. It's already barely surviving. In the last 12 years, things have not been going well. All the various state bills, COVID, the city's not the same. Everything's very expensive. It's really only for the very rich and very poor. Young people move here, live like 4 to an apartment, paying their entire salary in rent and groceries. If you continue to move in that direction and take an even sharper leftist turn, plus you start importing various Islamist ideologies, the city simply can't survive. No one wants to stay here, and there's no money to be made anymore.
And one of them funding, and one of the ways he wants to do it is by taxing the rich, people that make over $1 million a year, an extra 2%. What will happen to that group of people that are making $1 million? Will they leave New York City, or do you think they're going to stay?
So right now we're talking about the border and building a border wall. The Soviet Union also had a curtain or a wall, except it kept people in. Because the thing about communism is it's so much fun, you can't leave. And it only works when people who produce, which is the minority, can't leave. What this little moron does not understand is that this is America. People can just leave New York. He's gambling that they cannot move with their job, or they can't move with their family. He's sorely mistaken. And the other thing he has to remember is that he is the mayor, he's not the governor, meaning that people don't need to leave the state to avoid him. They can just leave the city. And the more he tries to Trump-proof it by charging his people more, the more those people will leave, the more monetary shortages he has, the more he must raise taxes, and the cycle will continue. He's more than welcome to try. We'll see what happens. There is one thing to let Chicago get worse, or LA burn. But it's another thing to let New York become a communist Islamic utopia, which is to say dystopia. I wonder if that's going to happen.
And any last warning you'd give to your fellow New Yorkers about who they should vote for, or who they should consider voting for, or why they could potentially consider not voting for Mamdani?
A pound of prevention is worth a ton of cure. You will not be able to undo what this man does to the city. And I use the word man loosely. You cannot. It's very hard to undo migration. It is very hard to undo entitlements. It is very hard to undo expanded budgets. As you see now with the big beautiful bill, it's very hard to both cut spending and also cut the deficit and also cut taxes. These are one-way roads. So if you elect this savage now, it will not get better. You will not be able to take your city back. And in 4 years, he will make this place toxic and radiated. It will not be livable. So whatever, by hook or by crook, by any means necessary, he cannot and should not become mayor of the city.